It is July the 28th, 2016. The FOMC has spoken, and they said interest rates would remain unchanged, with the possibility of raising them in September. The way gold and treasuries acted after that, they don't believe that interest rates will be raised in September. I don't see how interest rates can be raised in September before the November 8th elections. Can you imagine what the White House would do? And these people don't screw around with their enemies or anybody that crosses them or says anything any differently. I mean, I think Obama laughed when he said it. When they bring a knife, you bring a gun. They do. So you can do anything that you want as long as it's approved, and if it's not approved, they'll get after you. So I don't see any chance for an interest rate increase until December. And the way the economy's headed, the way the news is, the underlying statistics don't look all that strong right now. So gold is up, and treasuries are up. May have hit the high. We had a double top in London. I have a low volume number at 22. We've got right here. It changed colors on me. Low volume number right here at 22. We got a high at 22.5. Perhaps a move out of the middle at 20. So our first little band of resistance is 20 to 22. Currently at 18. New highs would be a sell at 23. So our first sell is 20 to 24. Followed by 27 to 31. On the buy side, had this breakout late at 14, so 12 to 16 is where support is, and we're there right now. So maybe a 13 to 9 buy, and we'll put a question mark at 16. And then 1 to 5. The news today is jobless claims looking for 264. International trade minus 61. And natural gas plus 29. So again, I think given the news that we face and that's on tap this morning, we're probably going to look at a fairly quiet session with perhaps the high being in the overnight, searching for where support is. And the K period wrap was pretty big, so somewhere between maybe 8 and 16 is where I see support right now. The mantle was passed last night from Obama to Hillary, and everybody's happy about that. Oh, come on, pins. I don't know what in the hell that is. So, trying to look at the 30-year right now after that little software glitch. Okay, the 30-year, the knob spread widened a little bit last night. Didn't totally break out of its bounds. So we've got resistance 12 to 16. So 19s to 23s, sell 1. 31 to 03, sell 2. Everybody's looking for Kuroda to add to the stimulus package. It's been greatly hinted at. The buck to 04 for first support. 25.29 buy 1. And then 13 to 17 buy 2. Gold is high. A couple of articles out this morning, overnight, talking about headed for 1376. The idea is that the Fed can't raise interest rates, and we're of that opinion too. So we've got this filling this gap from yesterday down at 42.20, so we'll make 43.45. Buy one. Lean against that. Hope for a setup. I mean, we're at resistance right now. Don't really like the short side, but 50 to 52, sell one. 55, 58, sell two. Then 40 to 39 for buy two. Essentially trying to buy 40s to 45s, and I'd like to sell a 55, 57, but we got to get through 50 first. Prefer the long side of the market. Dollars off overnight. A little bit, not much. If Kuroda doesn't do anything with the yen, it will snap back and the dollar will be pressured for a day or two. But Japan has the weakest economy in the West, and it's been that way since 1992, with brief periods of growth, quality growth. Their international, multinational exporting companies have done well. The rest of the country really hasn't. 111 even is our first little band of support. That's where the breakout was. 75 would be our second. I like the short side better, but got to get through the buck first. On the sell side, I would say 25. We had 45 to 55 for sell two, so we'll keep that. Crude oil. Put an article out calling for 35 bucks. Why? Because the world is awash in products and demand isn't there. We've had pretty bad numbers this summer as far as usage and demand at the peak of driving season, so I'm pretty comfortable with the $40 level. This article called for 35, so stops below 40 is where we are right now. Last rotate up yesterday was in the 42.30 area. We've got this low right over here, 42.38. We've got the spill from Globex at 42.54. So 30 to 50 is resistance. So 25 to 50, sell one. 75 to 43 even, sell two. On the buy side, we did have a 41.75, 41.50. So that's where support is right now. Prefer the short side, and then 40.75, 41 for buy two, trying to pick up this low volume area right there. And last but not least, the E-mini. Okay, if Kuroda, as expected, adds stimulus. Originally we were talking about $130 billion of stimulus to the economy. It should be supportive for stock indexes. So got this low volume area down here at 2150. Our first little band of support is going to be at 55, 57. OMEC 54, 56 by 1. No news to speak of here. 51 to 49 by 2. Stocks are supposed to be headed higher because the improved earnings from Facebook, Apple, all the beats that are coming in right now. When people look at how most of these companies beat their projected or forecast or guidance on earnings per share, to get those numbers, there's always a lot of accounting gimmicks. And if you're a large multinational, there's enough windows and loopholes and changes that you can meet those numbers. Alcoa is probably the most famous at doing that. But at some point, reality catches up with you. So here's Globex. We have selling, perhaps a move out of the middle here in V period at 64. Got that low right there. So 60, 62, sell 1. And then 67, 70, sell 2. And again, probably a trading range when it's all said and done, given the widely anticipated increase of $130 billion in stimulus to their economy by Japan. I'd like for them to go back and test that round number at 50. But probably everybody else does too. So if the market is going to hold, we probably will have a hard time getting below 50. Okay, it will take a while to get everything up and running. I'm going to get busy on that. Aptly said, Charles. Whatever rules and laws that you need at that moment in time, kind of like politicians, right? To make whatever you supposedly promise people. Get it out there, and hey, this one's behind us. We're not worried about next quarter. What are you talking about? Nothing to see here. In a bit.